Hey you guys, this is Cherry Blossoms, and we're back with Autumn's Journey. We're on chapter 9. So, man, wasn't that exciting the last time? I feel like I spoke really quickly because I was just so into it, I guess. Anyways, so fortunately we did not remain long in Oliver. We were able to find a Berry resident who had delivered the last of his cargo to the city, and he offered to give us a ride back. We took it easy as we relaxed on the back of the wagon. I was still emotionally fatigued, but did my best to remain engaged in the conversation, especially now since it tackled more sensitive issues. The wagon ride was smooth, but whenever a jolt or bump happened, I would stir or bolt upward. However, I was able to nap nice for a while. My eyelids fluttered as I heard Ilmari and Care's voice drift in and out. Bringing it up to Master Arcelio, it's about time the Seraphes looked beyond the Skylands.
Annoying.
Good luck getting them involved, pompous dragonkind. What really concerns me is how Heavenkind even found the Seraphes' remains. They shouldn't have any means of accessing them.
Leave it to me.
I'll see if Master Bedros will arrange a meeting. Right, and I'll have to break this to Master Kaya gently. She'll be even more reluctant to get involved. I can imagine her reaction. Oh my, this is why you shouldn't interact with Heavenkind. Oh, yay. Anyways, high-pitched voice. Oh, well, whatever. Caused Ilmari to burst out laughing. She doesn't sound... Okay, she does. You're more observant than I thought. I heard an exasperated groan. Because she's always with Master Bedros and I'm stuck listening to her uptight. Oh, you're up. Planning to sleep the whole afternoon away? I yawned, rubbing my eyes as I surveyed our location. We were passing through the birch forest near Berry, and I was leaning against Ilmari's shoulder. See, that changes as well. But yeah. Care was sitting across from us, his arms folded casually. Yeah, I'm up. What were you two discussing? Just a lot of stuff that we have to do when we return. Sooner the better. His face fell as he said that, but he forced a smile to reassure me. And Care was entertaining me with his imitations. Aw, what a cute face. I wasn't even trying, but I could probably do better than Aura. I thought back to the scene in the forest when I poked fun at him during a meal. I admit it wasn't the most accurate impression. Care grinned teasingly. Hi, I'm Aura for Berry. I let my sword do the talking and ow! I kicked his boot and grumbled. I deny all of that. Ilmari found the whole thing amusing. Me, imitate me! Care and I exchanged a smirk. I have a question. And I have another question. I do not ask that many questions. Do I? Yes, you do. Ilmari, yes you do. Ilmari, that was another... Ugh! The wagon bumped abruptly, and I bolted upright, clutching my chest to quell my reaction. Ilmari leaned in, one hand on my shoulder, one hand holding my shoulder steady, while the other hovered before my torso.
Are you okay?
Are you alright? I heard the driver issue an apology, and I sunk down until my back was against the frame. Yeah, that startled me. I looked up at Ilmari, then realized how close our faces were. I could feel heat rise to my cheeks. Care cleared his throat to disperse the awkwardness. Ilmari hastily removed his arms, and we averted our eyes as we inched apart. Aww. Ilmari informed me that you're frightened by earthquakes. What caused it? Well... Don't feel like you have to answer us. It's alright, it's not usually brought up since it's rare for me to get caught in earthquakes or tremors. I ummed and hermed until I figured out a good beginning point. It started when I was younger. My family lived in Oliver. I would follow my mom everywhere when she did her patrols or visited different places. Now that I think about it, although some parts were still hazy, I recalled being thrilled because I was going somewhere that had a lot of knights. The brilliant armor, their beautiful shining blades, and how I dragged this wooden sword awkwardly around. It was at the academy. It was being expanded upon, and some parts were in the middle of a renovation. I ran off somewhere. I think I wanted to find the armor room or something. Anyways, that's when the earthquake hit. I don't Yeah, I don't remember much. Just everything seemed to collapse around me. After that, I couldn't ride in carriages or even enter larger buildings without crying. Mom decided it was better for us to move away from Oliver and the memories associated with it. It took a long time, but eventually I got over certain fears. I focused on my night training, hoping to become stronger. Of course, my mom wouldn't send me into the academy. She's always been averse to night academies for other reasons, but my well-being definitely was one of them. Wow, this is the first time I ever told people this story. Aren't you too lucky? No, I really appreciate it. I'm glad you trust us enough to tell us. As an Earth Dragon, though, I can't stand for it. What? He gave a wry grin.
Leave it to me.
You got over some fears. If you'd like, I can help you get over this earthquake one. No, that won't be necessary. You sure? I'm certain if I delivered small tremors, your body would eventually get used to it. Think of it as a cure.
What?
That's terrible! This won't help me at all. What would you call that? Torment? Oh, what would you call that torment anyways? There was an awkward pause before Ilmari spoke up. Shock treatment? Oh gosh. I groaned and shook my head. Yeah, I couldn't help but chuckle at his feeble pun. Congratulations, Ilmari. You have mastered heaven-kind humor and everything there is to know about our culture. There's nothing more to teach you. I agree. Sarcasm is everything. Carrie glanced between us quizzically, as if determined to figure out the pattern. I don't know. I felt the delivery was a little rocky. Ilmari burst out laughing. I could only gawk at Care, who seemed pleased at his own joke. I waited cross with my arms. Banning this, banning puns. As we pestered each other relentlessly, I slumped down and glanced up at the sky, wondering when these interactions had become second nature and routine. And it was all coming to an end. Not that we could help it. They had to make amends for running away. And now that we'd uncovered something rather disquieting, they had to return and report to their masters. Once we reached Barry, the driver was kind enough to wheel us directly outside of my family home. I eagerly hopped out of the wagon. It was evening, and I could see light from within my house. I had barely touched the doorknob when the entrance flew open, and my mother hugged me tightly. Mom! For a moment I couldn't breathe because she was embracing me so tightly. When she finally let go, she grabbed my shoulders and examined me. You're home! Congratulations on saving the world! Mom, I didn't do anything that amazing. Did you become a knight? Are you happy? Yeah, I'm glad I went. She hugged me a second time. That's what a mother really wants to hear. She glanced up. Come in. We're going to have dinner ready in a bit. You probably are all starving. Your dad's currently preparing some warm apple cider. Nice, I haven't had that since last year. After Mom ushered us in, she disappeared around the corner while I pulled up a seat at the table. Carrie even joined us this time. What's apple cider? It's a sweet liquid. Tastes like, well, apple tarts. He stood up and slammed both palms on the table. I went through the whole journey without knowing such a thing exists? Whoa, calm down there, Care. He looked as though his best friends had betrayed him. Surprise! Not deterred, Care decided to see how my dad prepared dinner and vanished as well. I hope my dad isn't making alcoholic cider. I hope so too. Alcohol? It's something you add to drinks, and it makes people silly and giddy. He beamed eagerly.
I have a question.
Will we be able to partake? I crossed my arms and shook my head fervently. That was a disaster waiting to happen. Oh no, that's banned. I'm not dealing with drunk dragons. Ilmari looked completely baffled, but inquired no further thanks to my unwavering expression. Regular cider will suffice. Promise. We had a festival meal, along with a toast to our journey and the bonds it had forged. We excitedly told our stories, careful to avoid the more sensitive discoveries, as we did not want to cause unnecessary concern. My sides had never hurt so much from laughing before, and my mouth ached from grinning all the time. However, each sip of cider seemed to lose its sweetness whenever I thought about tomorrow. Aw, right, they would leave in the morning. No! When dinner was concluded, I urged my friends to get some fresh air, since I would help with the cleanup. They would probably want some time to themselves to reflect or visit a location anyways. I trooped up to my room and laid my bag out. Everything felt so familiar and welcoming, like I had never left. Sensing a sort of routine, I snatched at my blanket and used it as a shawl. Might as well. This would probably be the last time to meet them like this. Okay, this is the part that also changes, depending on whose room we go on. I found Care resting against the wall outside my house. Surprise visit! Stealth is my strong point. He arched an unimpressed eyebrow. It wasn't surprising at all. I heard you stomping. I was not stomping. I was walking normally. I plopped down in front of him, resting on my knees. He was sitting cross-legged, his hands gripping his ankles. Aw, Care. Looking forward to being back to normal tomorrow? I half expected a blunt yes or a grumbling agreement. Instead, I was answered with an awkward silence. Aw. Care? He snapped out of his trance. I guess. At least I won't be pathetically weak. Believe me, you are still plenty strong in this form. Yeah, I mean, he just punched the daylight out of all these guys, these knights. You'll probably lose your ability to punch, though. Can dragons even do that? I'll be the first one to try it. He made a fist and mimed a fake punch to my forehead, nudging it softly. I giggled. Now, it's all coming down to this. I guess I might as well say a few things. Second, let's make the music a bit louder. Okay. I smirked and peered at him knowingly. Is this another reluctant confession? He let out a sheepish chuckle. More willingly. Promise. I wanted to say thanks. For everything. I admit I was a pain at first. I probably didn't make it easy for you, right?
Right.
Right. Nice. You didn't have to agree so quickly. I guess I really was quarrelsome. Oh, Care. I regret not opening up to you earlier. I feel like I created a lot of unpleasant memories. I gave him a light punch in the arm to dissuade his conviction. What are you talking about? I look fondly on them all, even our bickering and petty arguments. I'd like to think that we've matured since then, at least a little. Speaking about confessing, there's a small question that has been nagging me ever since we met. I never asked because I knew you'd get upset. I'd like to think the Care now will answer differently. He perked up quizzically. Oh, face. And what's that? Can I touch your ears? His hand met his face and he growled loudly. Oh, fine, just for a moment. They do look interesting. I would personally like to touch them as well if they were real. Still on my knees, I positioned myself so I could lean over better and extended my arms. He glowered at me in disgruntlement, but I ignored his expression as my fingers rubbed the shale-like material. Wow, they really are as hard as rock. Aw. As I let my fingers graze the grooves and crevices, Care's irritation vanished and his eyes lingered downward to my neck. Wondering if I was making him uncomfortable, I let go, but he reached out and enveloped my back with his arm, pulling me close. Aww. Care. He nuzzled my neck, and I tensed up briefly. However, I slowly allowed myself to relax when I realized it was a friendly gesture. Yep, it's a dragon thing. They do all sorts of cute things, like nuzzling and cuddling. Ah. He stopped moving, and I could feel his breath on my neck.
Leave it to me.
When I return, I promise to learn how to master that transformation spell. That way, I can see you again. Well, I'll have to become a better pupil to master Bedros, but I think it's about time I took my studies more seriously. Ilmari and I will do our best to maintain strong relationships between our races. Never thought I'd be saying something like that in a million years. Isn't this cute? They're all growing up. Okay. He pulled away so he could see my face, his hands now cradling my shoulders. Heavenkind aren't so bad. Still small and annoying, though, and ignorant about Ishtera. Are you referring to Heavenkind in general, or just me? You feigned contemplating. I wonder. We exchanged a quick hug and both stood up. I'll see you in the morning then. Good night, Care. Night. I departed on a high note. Now I just had to find Ilmari. However, even if I'd known, I probably would have done it anyways. Ilmari, you're someone extremely important to me. I can't really say how much, but it's different from friendship. Aww.